We know that there is never a shortage of things to get done around your farm, and that it can sometimes be difficult to keep track of everything on your list. FarmBright's Tasks section can help you keep your work organized and make sure nothing is missed. We'll explore how you can work with it in this video. You'll be able to create tasks, assign them to your colleagues, and track their progress with different statuses and priorities. You can associate subtasks with them, map their location, and set a due date for when they need to be accomplished. You can also connect them to your records for crops, livestock, and equipment so that you can keep track of exactly what needs to be done for the different things around your farm. The task can also be set to repeat, helping you stay on top of recurring tasks that happen daily, weekly, or monthly. You can even create task templates to reuse them over and over again, and link them in series for repeated tasks that are dependent on each other. We'll also see how to view the task list in different formats, and then run reports on them as well. Let's go over to FarmBright and take a look. To get started, click Tasks from the main menu. Let's make a simple task to cover just the basic features as our first example. We'll choose Add Task, and see that you can first give the task a title and a description. These both appear on the main task list, so you'll see what needs to be done at a glance. You can use the text formatting tools in the description, including adding a hyperlink if you need. Now, we're making a simple task to clean up and organize our storage room, but you can make them for anything you need to track. As just a few examples, you might create a task to build a new structure, scout for pests and diseases on your crops, collect eggs from your chickens, weigh and treat your livestock, or move them to a different grazing location, service your farm equipment, check inventory counts, put together your CSA boxes, or even something like entering accounting transactions from your bank into FarmBright. This is customizable and useful for the needs of any agricultural operation. To the right, you can set a task status, which you'll probably leave as to do for now. These are also customizable, and we'll see how later in this video. You'll then choose who the task is assigned to. This might be yourself, or any of your colleagues that are set up as users. We'll see later how you can assign steps in this task to different individuals. You can then set a priority to indicate how important the task is. Your task list is sortable by this priority, so you can find the highest ones first. Next, you can set a due date if this task is time-bound. You can also set a start date and time, or an end time if needed. We'll set this task to be done by the end of the day at the end of the month. Setting a due date and time also makes this task show up on your FarmBright schedule. You can then optionally associate the task with an animal, group, planting, grow location, or piece of equipment. We'll connect this task with our storage shed that we have set up as a piece of equipment in the system. This provides a quick link in the task to access the record when working on the task, in case you need to add further data like measurements, treatments, service records, or fertilizer applications. Lastly, you can color code your tasks. You determine what each color represents and what works best for you. Maybe your crops are green and livestock tasks are orange. It's totally up to you. Let's create the task and see it added to our list. Those are just the basics to create the task, but there's a lot more to explore. Now that you have some of the concepts, let's dive into other areas. First, let's go to our settings to see how you can create custom statuses to use for your tasks. We'll scroll down and look for the section for task statuses. Whatever options you add to this box will be the task statuses available for you to use. These overwrite the standard statuses, so you'll want to define them here if you still need them. You'll add one per line, and the last status is the equivalent of complete. We'll add a few as examples. You could think of these as sequential steps through the progress of the task. In this example, we've created a backlog status for ones that eventually need to get done, a block status for those that are waiting on something, a to-do status for the things that we've prioritized this month, in progress for ones we are currently working on, and complete for those that we've resolved. These options will also be used as the columns on your task board. And speaking of the task board, you also have a selection here for the default task view. This could be the list we just saw, or a column-based board to track your progress. After making these selections, be sure to click Save. And now we'll go back to the task list and see that when we add new tasks, those new options that we just defined are available for us to use. Also, be aware that there are 3 standard sub-selections under the completed section. You'll always have the ability to complete a task by marking it as incomplete, missed, or skipped. Now let's close this and take a look at the board task view. Now you can see more of what I mean by the sequential progress of the task. You'll note that the statuses we just created are columns on this board, and that the tasks that we've created are cards that can be dragged into different statuses. So once we start cleaning and organizing the shed, we can move it to in progress. We'll see its priority and due date right here, with a link to the record that we associated to it. You can also click on the task name to bring up a lot more details about it and edit it if you need to. And once it's complete, just drag it to the complete column. You can make as many of these columns as you like to stay on top of the specific progress for all of your tasks. So if you like to use this view, you can default to it in your settings, and then add tasks right here. Personally, I prefer working with the list, and when we go back there, you'll see that our task to clean that storage shed is no longer listed as we marked it complete. Now let's make a new task to explore some of the more advanced features that we didn't see earlier. This time we'll create an example that we're harvesting eggs from our chickens. The first feature that we'll look at is adding checklist items to our task. This accomplishes two things. First, you can outline the steps that need to be completed in the task, and second, each step can be assigned to a different person. Each step can also be marked as completed individually, so after Becky gets the eggs, she might mark this status as in progress, and then Chris can enter it in FarmBright. The tasks can also be reordered by dragging and dropping them down the list. We might want to check the feed and water levels before collecting the eggs. You can also set one main user who is ultimately responsible for the task as well. We think of this as the manager who is responsible for the task, while these are individual team member responsibilities. Be aware that the users assigned to checklist items will still see these tasks on their list, and will still receive assignment notifications for them. Just below these steps, you'll see an option to add a map location for the task. This can help you pinpoint exactly where something needs to be done, like mending a fence or pulling invasive weeds. You'll set the pin to the exact spot, and the person you assign the task to will know exactly where to go to accomplish the task. Scrolling down, you'll also see that you can add attachments to the task. This lets you select a file from your computer to attach here. Perhaps you want to include an instruction manual when performing equipment service, a picture of the problem that needs to be fixed, or instructions on how to mix fertilizer from concentrate. On the right, you'll also see the ability to have the task automatically repeat, with choices for daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. We'll harvest the eggs every day, of course, but see that you can also define an interval between the repetitions. You might make the task repeat every 4 days, every 6 weeks, every 3 months, and so on. If this is a seasonal task, you can also choose to have it repeat through a specific date. The maximum number of repetitions that can be created is 100. Also, if you'd like the next instance of the task to be created based on the date the last one was completed, you can check this box. If not, it will repeat based on when it was due, regardless of when it was completed. We'll save, and see it created with some additional icons we didn't see previously. You'll easily be able to tell that a task has a location tagged, has checklist items, or is reoccurring in just a quick glance. One important thing to note with recurring tasks is that you will not see all of the future ones displayed on your task list. You'll always see one current instance of it. So when we mark this one complete after getting the eggs today, we'll refresh the page and see a new one for our next daily task tomorrow. And now that we've gone over all of the unique features that you can use on your tasks, let's next discuss task templates. Task templates allow you to create reusable templates for common tasks. That way you don't have to create them from scratch each time. As examples, when you plant a new crop, you likely have plans for applying different fertilizers at different times throughout its life cycle. Or, when you birth a new animal, you have a full checklist of things to do, like giving vaccines, attaching identification tags, taking measurements, and a lot more. To save time with these, you can create task templates and task template series to make adding these routine tasks much easier and quicker. To start, click on Add Template, and the setup page should look familiar to what we previously saw in this video, as you're adding many of the same commonly used fields in advance. Any information that you add to fields on the template will be automatically added to new tasks that you create from it. I'll fill this out, and we'll see that the name, description, checklist items and assignments, colors, priority, and repetition will all be inherited to future tasks that use this template. Also pay particular attention to this field, days due after start date. When using the template for a task, Farmbright will calculate the task due date based off of this field. So if I use this template today, the due date would be 21 days in the future. So we'll create this template, and I'll use some editing magic here to make a few more, and then see how we can connect them in a task series. We'll choose to add series, give it a name, and then click Next to add templates to this series. We'll want to scout for pests, apply nitrogen fertilizers, and apply some flower boost later. And after saving, these templates are now linked and can be added in one action. I'll close this window, and we can choose to Use Template, where we can choose to apply the templates individually or link the entire series to one of our crops. We'll create, and we'll see those tasks added associated with the correct crop with due dates automatically calculated. And now that we have a few more tasks on this list, let's work with them to edit and update them and mark them as complete. We'll work with the task for pest scouting and immediately mark it as in progress. This is not required, but if our farm manager pays close attention to a daily task list, we might want to reflect that this is being worked on right now. As we scout the crop, we might add other records beyond this task. Remember, this is the task to do the scouting, but the results would be stored as a note, or maybe even a treatment record if we apply an insecticide to remedy what we find. After updating this task, we can change its status or just mark it complete, and then optionally enter the number of hours that we spent on it. This field is available on reports, so you might make it part of your process to note it to track your time. And speaking of time tracking, be aware that assigned tasks can be automatically added to your employee timesheets. If you use this feature, you can choose to copy tasks from the week to employee timesheets, where they can input the time spent on them each day. If you're interested in learning more about this, check out other articles and videos that we have in our Help Center for this feature. Also note that you can mark a task as complete simply by clicking the check mark. You don't have to open and edit the task to complete it. And beyond that, if you wanted to delete a task, click the Actions menu, and you'll see an option to delete. This will completely remove the task, and it can't be restored, so be careful when using that feature. Now let's take a look at searching, filtering, and organizing your tasks. First, you can use the search to look for keywords in the task title. After finding what you're looking for, you can clear the search box and hit Enter to return to your full list. Next, you can filter the task list to only show certain tasks based on who they are assigned to. It defaults to showing you all users, but you can filter to see just yours or those that are unassigned. The unassigned task view can be a great way to encourage your staff to pick up tasks that need to be completed without actually having to assign it to them. There's always stuff to do, and anyone can pick up the task. You can choose individual users here too, or pick by assignee to see the full task list grouped by user. You can also filter your task list by due date, selecting to show all tasks, those that are due today, those that are past due, ones that have an upcoming due date, or ones that are completed. We'll also see in just a minute how you can run a report to see all completed tasks. Let's go back to our main task list for all users, and see that we can sort our task list by clicking on the column headers. You can click on them multiple times to sort them A to Z or Z to A. You might do this for priority to see the highest ones at the top, or by status or the task association. And beyond that filter to see your own tasks, you and your colleagues have other ways to be notified and keep on top of tasks too. Let's go back to the dashboard, where you'll see a widget for top upcoming tasks. This shows you any tasks assigned to you that are due today. You can also set up reminder emails and notifications too. Every user can make this choice individually, and you can do that by selecting the person icon in the upper right and choosing Your Profile. From there, you'll have a selection to allow push notifications to the device you are currently using. This feature will send you a push notification when a new task is assigned to you. Just click the button, and you'll see your notification permissions updated. You can do this on each device that you want to get notifications on, maybe your phone and your laptop. And below that, you'll see an option to send schedule reminder emails. This feature sends you a daily reminder email for upcoming tasks and events assigned to you. Check it if you like the reminder, or uncheck it if you're already on top of the tasks and don't need to receive daily reminders about them. Be sure to save in the bottom right once you've made your selections. And while we're looking at the menu in the upper right, I also want you to know that you can create tasks from here as well. You can choose the task action from the Quick Add menu. This loads the same window that we saw under the Tasks section, allowing you to easily create one here too. And that same green plus sign is also a shortcut when adding tasks from the mobile app. Let's switch to the mobile app view and take a look. You'll see the same task widget when you first log in, and you can still access the task list from the main menu. Everything functions the same way as we've already learned in this video. You can easily access the tasks, edit them, and mark them as complete. If you use FarmBright offline in Scout mode, you'll still see the same task list and can still accomplish all of those functions too. You'll use the same green plus sign at the bottom to add tasks offline if you need, and when you regain connection, all of your records will be synced with FarmBright. Let's go back to the web browser interface. Let's move on to check out how you can see your task list on individual records. We saw before that you can associate tasks with animals, crops, grow locations, and equipment. We can click on the task association for our chickens right here and be brought directly to their record. You'll then see a task menu on the left that is specific for this animal. This works the same way we have seen throughout this video. You can add tasks, use templates, work with the tasks, and filter and search here too. Of course, the difference is you'll only see tasks for this specific record. This same concept applies to plantings, fields, and equipment. There are also some tasks that the system will automatically create for you. From this livestock record, we'll navigate to Treatments, add a new one, and create a treatment record for a medication that requires a booster date. Going back to the task list, we'll see a task automatically created to retreat the medication on the date we supplied. This works the same way for plant treatments as well. Additionally, planting records can automatically create tasks for planting and harvesting. And you can also apply templates and series when planting as well. We'll use this broccoli as an example, and then navigate to its details. Scrolling down, we'll see an option to automatically create tasks for new plantings. This box is checked by default, so you'll always get these tasks on your list when you create a planting. Let's do that. We'll choose our grow location. And as we do that, also see that we can select a task template or a task series to create additional tasks as well. Remember the plant care one we made earlier in this video? Now we can apply it, and as we create the broccoli planting, we'll go back to the task list and see those 3 templates added, along with the standard tasks of planting and harvesting. The last feature that we'll look at in this video is task reporting. From the Reports section, we'll choose User Activities, and see reports for tasks completed and tasks due. These are separated into tasks and subtasks, with the subtask reports showing all checklist items and assignments, while the main reports do not. Let's check out Tasks Due to see a list of all of our tasks within a specific date range, with their name, assignee, association, due date, status, priority, and hours spent. Let's go back and run the subtasks due to see a somewhat similar report that also outlines the individual steps in each task. And lastly, let's take a look at the completed report to see all the tasks completed within the last 12 months by default. And if you wanted to customize that date range or set other filters, you can customize the report, which brings up the custom report builder with tasks automatically selected. You can add or remove additional columns to the report, filter it based on different criteria. Maybe we just want to see the ones that were completed this month, and set additional preferences for ordering, grouping, and totaling. All right, and that's going to wrap up the tour of the task system. We've gone over a lot, so practice this in your account and reach out to us if you have any questions. We're always happy to help. Thanks for watching.